Okay, good morning, everybody. I'm sorry for the delay in getting this freezer meal workshop um, information to you. I know there's a lot of you out there that wanted to try this out. I was hoping to go live yesterday at my freezer meal workshop that I actually did at someone's house. However, there was just so much chaos, and I thought, oh, I can't do this. Um, you guys would just be like overwhelmed by it. But it was a lot of fun. But it gets loud and crazy sometimes too. So I'm going to share my screen and show you where to get the freezer meal information. Now I'm just going to show you the Pampered Chef version of the freezer meal. You can find out on Facebook Dinner's Done workshop. It might even be called Pampered Chef Dinner's Done workshop. If you can't find it, let me know. I'll add you to that group. They do 10 meals and they throw their meats, veggies, sauce, everything together. I kind of like how Pampered Chef does it. They keep their veggies, their cheese, their meats all separate. I like the prep work that they give the guest prior to coming to the freezer meal workshop with their meats as well. So their meat is already prepped and everything before they come. Where on the Facebook one, it's not like that. And how that became is because freezer meal workshops were actually created by a consultant. I don't know how many years ago. And then Pampered Chef saw that, we enjoy doing them and we're having success with them. So then they brought in their own outline for freezer meal workshops. However, not enough people jumped on the freezer meal workshops because Pampered Chef had, obviously we go through a lot of spices and they did not see the volume of spices increase and things like that. So therefore, they have not continued to update the menus that they have out there. And they also have some menus out there that we no longer have the spices for. So when you're choosing your menus, you want to keep that in mind. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. And so I'm hoping you all can see my screen here. So what we're going to do is just go right up here and type in freezer meals and do a search. And it's thinking. Okay, so if you just click on freezer meal workshops, then it's going to take you to the meal plans. Okay, so here's the outline. We didn't even take a break yesterday. We just kept on going, okay? And it took us about 2 hours to do everything from start to finish, okay? So here's the menu plans. Now the ones and like I said, I haven't checked these all out to make sure. So before you choose one that you want to do, you want to make sure you go through it and make sure that we have the spices for all of those menus. Okay, so the one I did yesterday was the family favorites, and that's what I'm going to be offering here when I do it myself as well. So you can just click here and download all the material, or you can go step by step, okay? So if you hit download all material, you're going to see everything. So here are the 7 recipes that you're going to be making. They're listed right here. Okay, and then the recommended cooking method, and then here are your spices that they need. So they're going to order all these spices. They're going to be $64. So when you're setting up a freezer meal workshop, you don't want to be setting up a freezer meal workshop with 3 people, because if you have 3 people at $60, that's only $180, and that's not even a show. Yesterday we had 6 people. So it was a small show, but then I did get almost $200 in orders yesterday as well, because when they get these products in their hands that they're using, then they want them. So they were, everybody fell in love with the knives and the quick slice, and those that didn't have it, they were ordering that. And then some people, that ran out of some of the spices, they were reordering those as well. So, and then I also got a booking from that as well. So when you're scheduling these freezer meal workshops, they are going to take 2 hours of your time, at least 2 hours of your time, and a lot of dishes. So when you're scheduling these, I would highly recommend that, you have, I think if you have the space, 10 people would be an ideal party, because then you have at least a $600 party, and it makes makes it worth your while to go do one and give up that time. But so that's something to take into consideration. You might want to just do a smaller one and not worry about the money that you're making, to learn from it at first. So really it's up to you, but I want you to be aware of that. All right. So this is what you're going to send to your host, or if you're hosting one yourself, this is what you're going to send them, the little letter. I just copy and paste it into an email, let them know what we're making. I let them know that it's 68 it feeds 68 people. So like yesterday, I had 3 people that were just couples. They were just couples. So there was just 2 of them. So they actually split their recipes in half and divided the recipe in half. So instead of getting 7 meals, they got 14 meals out of it. Okay. So they just knew they had to bring extra bags and things like that so they could divide their meals up. So here's it telling them what they need. You'll want to create the party, give them the link, how to order it, and then either have your host or I yesterday just brought my own brown sugar, cornstarch, and vinegar. I didn't even ask my host to have it on hand. Okay. And then here's more important information. Here's the attached grocery list. So you can so what you can do is just save this and then send them the link, and they can you want to download it and save it as a PDF. So that's how you're going to do it. And I'll come back and show you that, how to do that. All right. So here's the grocery list. And they really like this because it's all organized by dry goods, produce, meats, and things like that. Okay. And then again, it's telling them what spices they're going to need. Okay. And then here's the additional grocery list that they're going to need for the day of cooking. So they don't have to bring any of this stuff with them. They can just have this all the day they're going to make it. So, if they're not going to eat their sloppy joes for a couple of weeks, then obviously they're not going to want to buy the hamburger buns at that time. Okay. So you're going to give them that as well, so they know. So here's some things you got to print out. So these are the actual recipe cards for putting the recipes together. So this is what I did. I printed them out, and I made enough for each guest at the party, and I just put them in protective sleeves because it gets messy, okay? Juices are flying, veggies are flying, So this way, I just put them in these little protectors, and you can just get these at the dollar store. And then this one has, one recipe on one side and then the other recipe on the other side. And then you can just buy these little rings. They just open up and put them on, all right? So that is, I'm hoping you can see this because on my screen, I'm hoping you can see me too. Well, you know what? You might not be able to see me, huh? All right. I see myself, so I'm talking. All right. So I'm going to come back and show you this because I'm talking and I see myself, and now I realize you're only seeing my screen. You're not seeing me right now. So, okay. So you're going to print these off, and then I'm going to show you what to do with them. Okay. So these are the recipes that you're making, and it's telling you. So it's going to tell you, pull out a gallon bag, prepare vegetables, and add to bag. And it tells you exactly what to do with the vegetables. Then it's going to say wedge 1 onion, veggie wedger, food chopper, manual food processor. So what I did is I had a station set up. Let me come back, and I'll come back. I just want to show you all the documents. Then I'll come back so you can see me so I can explain it. This here, I'm just emailing. This here, then you have to print these off because these are the little recipes that go in between the bags. So we'll come back and talk about those. And then I also printed this out, and I'll show you what I did with that. I printed this out. Okay, so you know where to find this stuff. I'm going to come back. I'm going to stop sharing my screen so you can see me. Okay. So these are, remember I said we talked about the things you needed to print out. So this is what I printed out put them all in back to back, so they're front and back, so they just flip through, got the next recipe, okay, and I just put them in page protectors and this little ring that you can find, you know, at the dollar store or office supply store, and just put them all together. I don't let them keep these because obviously I'm going to continue to do freezer meal, and when I do these again, then I can reuse them. So I just tell them if they get anything dirty on it to please keep it cleaned and wiped up. That way you're not printing out all the time, okay? Another thing I want to bring your attention to is it actually tells you what tools you're going to need. So you want to make sure that you're taking and packing up all these tools, okay? So what I do at mine, and you might not have enough tools to do this, but I actually give everybody a flexible cutting mat at their station. So like my island here, I can fit, you know, 5 people at my island and they can all work comfortably. And I can put, you know, 4 or 5 people at on my kitchen table comfortably, and they can spread out. So I have cutting mats for everybody. I also have enough measuring spoons for everybody. And then I give everybody a quick cut paring knife. However, quick cut paring knives don't always work with what we're doing. So then I have extra bigger knives, the utility knife, the Santoku knife, and things like that on the island in the middle so that they can just share. So like can opener, you know, I did take 2 can openers, but I only took 1 quick slice, 1 veggie wedger, 1 food chopper. So then I was off to the side. I had a cheese grating station and I had a chopping station. So when they had it, so what they did is they wedged their onion at their station, and then they took their onion over to the chopping station and they chopped their onion. Okay. And then when they wanted to grate cheese, I had the cheese grater. That way they're not, because they're all working at their own pace. So they're all reading their own directions. You kind of guide them how to do it the first time, and then they can just kind of work at their own pace. Sometimes they're all working on the same recipe. Sometimes they're ahead of each other. So just let them work at their own pace. Okay. You don't want someone just standing there being bored and with nothing to do, because everybody, you know, doesn't know how to cook. And so you just kind of have to work with them. Okay. So that's that. Another quick tip. Let me just grab a spice here. So when you have, if you don't have a lot, most of the recipes call for a tablespoon of the spice, or 2 tablespoons, 3 tablespoons. So a good thing to remember is if you feel this, I don't know if you can see it, but there's a little line in here. It's the very top line. It's not all the way to the top, but there's a little line in here. If you feel the spices up to this line, that is 1 tablespoon. So if you don't have a lot of extra tablespoons, that is a great thing to know. So I just tell people, and sometimes it's just easier to pour in your cup and then pour in your bag, okay? So that's with the spices. We talked about the tools. We talked about the recipes, okay? Now, another thing that you have to do is you're going to have to print out, this is the cooking day instructions. So you can see there's 3 on this side, and then there's 4 on this side. So you need to print these out, and then you'll need to cut them all out. And so everybody needs, so they need printed and cut out, because everybody's going to need one of these. Because what these are is it tells them what they need to do the day they pull the recipe out. So it's going to say to thaw, transfer to a refrigerator 1 to 2 days. Cook time is 10 minutes. You need, on cooking day, you need 8 hamburger buns, and then the optional toppings if you want optional toppings on top of your sloppy joes. Okay, so that is something. So when they're packing their meals into the freezer bags, they're going to have like their meat mixture, veggies, or whatever, and then they're going to slide it into an empty bag. And then what you're going to do is put that in between the 2 bags, okay? So it's right there on top, and they know exactly what to do. They just pull it out. The instructions are right there, and off they go. Okay, so very easy. Another tip is when they are freezing their stuff. So they don't want to freeze it all. They want to make sure they smush everything down nice and flat, so the bags are nice and flat, so that makes it easy to thaw. Okay? All right, so I don't have one here to show you as an example. So, but maybe when I schedule my freezer meal, if anybody wants to come watch, I'll invite you to come watch that as well. But I'm hoping to get that on my calendar today or tomorrow because I have a ton of people interested in doing it. So I just got to make it happen. All right, so that is that. And then you can go to the dollar store. This is what I use. So what I do is I give everybody one of these with their flexible cutting mat at their station because then they can put their gallon bag inside here and it just helps them hold their bag upright because they're dumping and pouring things in. And another tip is to fold the bag over and then you can, it doesn't get all messy. Okay, let me grab one and show you. I'm down in my kitchen working because my office is right upstairs by the boys' bedrooms and they're all sleeping. So, okay, so here's your bag. And what I meant is just kind of fold it over like this. Okay, and then stick it in here to stand up. This way, this doesn't get, so if anything touches up here, you're just going to fold it up and it's going to keep your bag a lot cleaner, okay? Another thing that I do is all the spices are delivered to me and I have them all set up in these tubs. Now, obviously, if you're doing it at a host house, you can have it delivered to her, get there early, take these. So I give them this, and all their spices are sitting in here at their station as well. Okay? All right. So that is how you set that up. And then I also give them a folder to take home with them. And then this is in here too. So this is how I got additional orders because people were like, what did I use? So it kind of gives them a list of everything that we use. And then there's also a little questionnaire that they can fill out too. So this is kind of like their door prize slip and order form. Okay. And then in here as well, I give them the freezer planner. So when they pull it out, it gives them the directions again. It gives them ideas of side dishes. So they can hang this on the refrigerator, the date they froze it, so they know how long it's been in there. So that's something I give them a copy of. And then I also give them a copy of, you know, how to freeze, how to thaw, those kinds of things. And then also some extra recipes for extra spices that they might have. So that I put all in a folder and give it to them the day of the freezer meal workshop, and they can take this part home. Okay? So I'm trying to think if I forgot anything. I think I covered everything, how it works. They come with coolers with all their food in coolers so they can pack it and take it home. If you have any questions, once I post this video, just put it in the comment section and we can get a conversation going like that. But I hope this was helpful. And if you need to find that, I think it's Dinner's Done Workshop on Facebook. It's a group. Let me see if I can find it real quick here. Let me share my screen. And see if we can find it so that you know the other one that's out there. But like I said, we have discontinued, I can't talk. We have discontinued Dinner's Done workshops. We have discontinued a lot of the spices. So just make sure whatever recipes that you are doing, let me think, I think this is it, Dinner's Done workshop. Yes, so this is it. So if you want to join this, just go ahead and add yourself. You want to make sure that Pampered Chef is in your bio on Facebook so that they know to do this. And then they have a linked, a pinned post here. And this tells you everything that you need and all the links for the recipes and everything is right there. So I hope this was all helpful for you. Sorry no one could join us live today. but I appreciate each and every one of you. I hope you're having a fabulous January, okay, because it's double free for our host. And I know they're excited. And don't forget, double bonus points for recruits. I was so sad that nobody had anybody join us on the opportunity event last night. We signed up quite a few people. So I didn't personally, but the organization, the group that we did. So, all right, have a great day, and I will be in touch. Bye-bye.